Bond stands alone.
Now Booker with Tucker on him. Throws it up for 8. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Ervin. Ervin and Curry, one-on-one. Ervin puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes, yes, yes. What is up? And welcome to a Taproom Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan. Stacks on stacks on stacks, lads. And we got a very special show tonight. We got all three of us here. Swervin, Ervin, Washington, Mr. Big Ball, and Ben Larson. Let's go. Let's get this started.
Football's here, man.
Football is here, man. I'm fired up. I'm pumped up. We got some great college football last week. Now we got some NFL action going on. Thursday night starting off. So we got a big show. We're going to talk about not all the games. We're going to talk about 6 games tonight. We're going to talk about all the primetime games, and we're going to talk about a few other games. But I'm excited for tonight, man. Excited to see where the NFL season is going to take us. But first, I do need to be mentioned, we are being brought to you by Tavour. Make sure to go to Tavour.com or download the Tavour app straight to your mobile device and use promo code TAPROOM for $10 off your first purchase of $25 or more. That's craft beer delivered straight to your front door. You don't even got to leave your couch. How about that? How y'all doing tonight?
Doing good.
Can't complain, man.
Just doing good.
Just finished watching some Netflix.
Nice. So you're not wearing a hoodie tonight, I see.
Nah, it's too fucking hot for a hoodie
It's
tonight.
way fucking hot out here.
And plus something about my windows. The reason why I have a hoodie on is because the air blows in real good. So
Okay.
that's the why.
Now y'all know how I feel.
Nah, I'm taking all that air in tonight.
Are you brushing your beard with a fork?
With a fork.
Yeah.
I was going to ask the same thing.
I couldn't get up and go.
That.
I couldn't get up and go grab my brush, so I just grabbed the closest thing to me.
All right, we're here, dude.
Hey, do what you got to do.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. I like it. I like it. All right, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for tonight. We got a lot to talk about. So let's just hop right into the first game. We got the Rams versus the Bills on Thursday night. Defending Super Bowl champion Rams. This game's going to be in LA. They will be raising the banner. The Rams right now plus 2.5 point dogs at home to the Bills, minus 2.5. The over-under win total is 52 right now. You can also get Bills money line for about minus 135, minus 140, depending on what book you go to, and you can get Rams around plus 115 to plus 120. What do you guys think about this game?
I think this is the hardest one that we're going to talk about tonight.
Why?
You got two dynamic offenses, you got two dynamic defenses going at it. I mean, it's hard to say who's better at what. I mean, you'd probably put the offense of the Bills up over the offense of the Rams because of the question mark of Stafford's shoulder. But then you got the defenses where you probably put the Rams defense a little bit better than the Bills defense, which kind of washes things out.
Would you, though?
Is Donald playing? Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, aside from Donald and Ramsey, I mean, that defense is really, we don't know a lot.
Well, they added Bobby Wagner.
They did add Bobby Wagner.
Their safeties are going to be healthy. They had a pretty good safety tandem last year before they got hurt. They still got Leonard Floyd, who's a top 10 edge rusher in the NFL. And their D-line, they don't get a lot of credit because you play next to Aaron Donald, but they got some solid pieces on their D-line. Now they will be able to stop the Bills. I wouldn't say completely shut them down, but the Bills do have a new OC, so we got to see how that works out. They don't got Brian Dabo dialing up plays no more for Josh Allen, so that could affect them in an adverse way too as well.
Got Ken Dorsey, but by all means, like the offense is going to be pretty similar to how it was before because Ken Dorsey did work under Brian Dable last year, so it is kind of a smooth transition. But I mean, the Bills also, their defense last year was top 5 DVOA all season. And I think they're only going to be a year better because this was a team, dude, that was actually like not inexperienced per se, but they were, what's the word? Young. They were a very young defense last year. Gregory Rousseau, he's a rookie. He's going to be only a year older. They also have the secondary. Who's their safety, Ervin? The one that was going through the contract negotiation?
Micah Hyde?
Yeah, Hyde.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a good Bills defense, dude. This is one of the best.
Davis White is healthy. They drafted a pretty good corner in Kyer Elam to be their number 2. Their defense is, of course, is going to come down to whatever offense plays better. But I think this might come down to who has the ball last, honestly, because I think both defenses.
That's why it's a one-possession game.
Yeah, I think both defenses are going to be able to stop the other offense enough to the game stays close. Now, unless you just have a bunch of turnovers or like unforced errors, like fumbles on punts or kickoff,
or remember last year, first week of the season, the Bills, they basically dominated that game against the Steelers, but they had that punt block, and that changed the whole game, dude. Steelers didn't even score an offensive touchdown in the game. They ended up winning because of that. So special teams could be a huge key. We also saw it in college football this weekend, right? In the LSU game, LSU had 2 field goal kicks blocked. That was the difference in the game. Even Clemson with the punt blocks.
And one was an extra point.
So it's go ahead, Ben.
No, go ahead. Finish up.
Go for it.
I was going to say, I think another thing you got to take into consideration here is LA is not going to be an away game for the Rams anymore because they've won the Super Bowl. So that kind of changes the dynamic of the home crowd to be more LA dominant. So I don't think you can say you're going to have predominantly
Bills fans travel pretty well.
They do, but you've got the banner ceremony.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't expect it to be
a ton of Rams fans there. I think so.
I don't expect it to be a Bills crowd, but also like the Rams, it was a big Niners crowd last year in the NFC Championship and they won. So I don't think that really phases them. Plus they won a Super Bowl, dude. You know what I mean? Like they're battle tested for sure. It's really it's a one possession game for a reason. This is a flip. Yeah. Now my thinking on this is like, okay, I think the Bills are the best team in the NFL heading into the season, right? But the Bills, I mean, I feel like the Rams are getting kind of disrespected in this game. Like they're a home dog after winning the Super Bowl to the Bills. Now, Super Bowl champions playing on Thursday night have covered the spread about 62% of the time in the last 30 years. The next year.
Man, mofo, today you said the Rams ain't making the playoffs. So it'd be a disrespect.
I do like the Rams to miss the playoffs this year, dude. I'm not gonna lie, because they're getting older but it's week 1, dude, and they're healthy right now.
And on paper, they're a better team than they was last year.
Maybe, but Stafford's a year older, and we heard about the arm issue, right? The shoulder issue. That could be a huge factor because he was a huge reason why they were good. And then there's no way Cooper Kupp replicates the season he had last year. And the Rams
come close.
Maybe
when they add Allen Robinson, which will take a little bit of pressure off of Kupp.
Yeah, Allen Robinson's he's cool, but he's he's a little bit older now, right? Yeah. So I mean, I'll see it when if they do it, that's cool. But looking at it from a historical standpoint, these guys are getting older, dude. Father Time's undefeated. Aaron Donald's 32 years old now, Ben? I mean,
we've been repeating that how many times with Tampa Bay?
Yeah, but Tom Brady's like an exception to the rule, dude. He's like the one dude in the history of sports that's been able to do this.
Okay, I understand you saying Aaron Donald's getting older, but has he shown you any signs of slowing down?
No, he hasn't. I think the Rams defense is good, but dude, they couldn't run the ball at the end of last year.
They didn't have Akers.
Yeah,
Akers
Akers
coming
is
off
healthy.
injured. They wasn't giving him
Yeah, but their
a
offensive
workload
line
like
wasn't
that.
that great either, opening up running lanes. And their
Well,
offensive line arguably this year is worse.
well, they missing probably a future Hall of Famer at left tackle, but Havenstein filled in pretty damn good for Wentworth last year when he didn't play. So I think they're gonna be all right. Now, is they gonna be seamless? No, of course you're gonna miss Andrew Wentworth, of course, but I think McVay's coaching, his play calling, his scheme can overcome losing their left tackle to retirement, and plus on top of that, the division got worse. The division isn't as talented or stacked as it was 2-3 years ago with Russ leaving to Denver, Niners breaking in Trey.
Yeah.
That's still pretty much an unknown. We know they're gonna have an elite defense because that's what they do. They haven't been. I can't remember the last time they was outside the top 10. And Arizona is a complete wild card. Missing Hopkins for 6 games. I think Kyler is gonna come out playing with a point to prove to show people that he is definitely a top 10 borderline. He can be a top 5 quarterback in his league. So
Yep.
I think low key, if the Rams stay healthy, they could win the division comfortably. If Trey Lance doesn't play with his head on, doesn't come in balling, they probably could run away with the division.
I mean, that's putting a lot of effort or emphasis on what Jimmy G did, and
Yeah,
I don't think Jimmy G was all that great.
he wasn't, but he did win though. That was the main.
He did.
That was the main factor that I'll always give Jimmy G his credit. He couldn't win you big games, but he won you enough games for you could be in the big game.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yep. And
So we'll
the
see how that
team
works.
rallies
I think that offense is going to be better with Trey, especially if he plays to his potential. But we have to see it first.
I think this division's even harder than it was a couple of years ago. To be honest, Seattle is definitely the exception there, but San Francisco and Arizona, I think, are, two strong teams, and you didn't have a strong team in Arizona last 2 years you did, but prior to that,
last year you did. The year before, not so much.
Yeah.
But Kyler's gotten better every single year, and I think people tend to forget that. Like, the Cardinals have gotten better every single year under Kyler Murray. So, I think a lot of people are shitting on the Cardinals, to be honest. And, I wasn't that high on the Cardinals, but then the more I think about it, I'm like, all right, well, maybe they can make some noise in this division. You know what I mean? Because people are down on them, and that might be better than getting the hype like the Eagles per se, which we're going to get to in a minute. But let's get back to this Rams game. I actually like the total here, dude. I like the under 52.5 because of some of the things we mentioned. Like, I think these two defenses are going to be able to stymie the other offense a little bit, and it is going to be a one possession game for sure. But I think the defenses are going to be the emphasis here, and I think it's going to be a low scoring affair, especially because it's the first week of the season. These teams a lot of these, especially the Rams, dude, they haven't played in the preseason at all.
Yeah,
right?
a lot of these teams, I think a lot of unders might hit this weekend, the first weekend, because a bunch of teams didn't play 80% of their starters in the preseason at all.
I agree. And so I kind of like the under here, man. I'm leaning towards the under. I'm kind of staying away from a side. I would honestly probably take, if you had to like put a gun to my head, I'm probably going to take the Bills -2.5 just because I do think that they're the best team. But week 1, Super Bowl champion, raising the banner. I don't want to go against the Rams here in this spot. So I do like the under 52.5 here. Do you guys have a bet on this one? No?
Me, I would, like you said, I think if I was to make a bet, I think it's going to go over. I think this game could be a 27,
you like the over
type game, 30-27 type game, because I think the defense is going to come up with stops, but I do think both offense put up points because they're just too good not to. Like, I understand both these defenses could be top 5, but it's the first game of the year. And usually in the NFL, especially early, you score the offense. The offense tend to be a little bit ahead of the defense because the defense, they got to get their timing down. They got to get there because the only really reps they get is in practice and against
the
joint practices.
You mean the offense?
Yeah, offense. So I think the offense might be a little bit ahead of the defense.
You think the offense is going to be ahead of the defense?
Yeah, because plus with all the rule changes, this is an offensive driven league now.
That is a great point, though. I will about the rule change because that legal holding, the legal contact penalty, we saw that really affect totals in the preseason. Like a lot of overs hit because of that fucking stupid penalty. So that is a good point. However, I do think that that rule might be a little bit lax because it was a hot topic of conversation throughout the preseason. Was like how ticky tacky the fouls were. And we've seen this with the NFL before when they had the emphasis on the pass interference and a bunch of they had that holding emphasis that one year where early on there was like so many holding calls and it was like unwatchable. You know what I mean? So then they kind of
and that roughing the passer shit. It's getting better, but at one point I'm like, bro, you can't even touch these quarterbacks.
Nah, you can't, especially in college right now. All right, so Ervin, you like the over here?
Yeah, I like the over.
Ben, what's up? Do you like anything from this game?
I'm gonna lean the Bills -2.5 here. I just think the offense is a little bit has a little bit more firepower. There's just too many question marks on the Rams for me to put any money on them. I wouldn't put a full unit on this game anywhere. I'm literally 50-50 with the over under here, so I'm not gonna bet that. Yeah.
I liked it when it was Bills -1.5.
Yeah.
That was nice, but after that,
I'll still take him at 2.5.
After that was.
Well, I'm gonna be devil's advocate. I'm gonna go Rams.
He's going Rams +2.5, or are you taking the money line?
Money line.
Ooh, he's bold.
I think the defending champs defend home court opening night.
Well, we're gonna get to our best bets later, so maybe Ervin will have that on one of his best bets there. I mean, you might be right, dude. You might be right. I like the under though. All right, let's move on to this next game. We got the Eagles and Lions, and this is an interesting game because this is the hype bowl, dude. These are probably the two most hyped teams of the offseason. Obviously, the Lions, we have Hard Knocks. Eagles, their win total started at 8.5. It's been bet up to 9.5 at some places. So, I mean, this is a team that everybody is really high on, but I still have a big question mark about this team. Right now, the Eagles on the road laying 4 points, so they're -4. Lions +4. Over under is 48.5. Where do you guys like on this one?
I brought it up because, like you said, it's the hype bowl. It's two teams coming in with a lot of and not enthusiasm with a lot. I wouldn't say hype, but their fan bases are infused with optimism and hope that these two teams can be better than they were last year. Especially Lions fans, they're really starting to improve that roster. They got a pretty good O-line. I like both their running backs. Goff just has to get the ball to his playmakers and not turn the ball over. Defense is rounded into shape. They still got some question marks in the secondary, but it looked like their front seven are going to be much improved. And Aiden Hutchinson is looking pretty damn good. He looked like he might prove me wrong as far as being a pretty good NFL player. So, and then the Eagles had a great offseason. They got what's old boy from the Titans.
Damn, the Padres just
AJ Brown
off and won.
Yeah.
Padres walk off.
Yep.
Damn, D-backs. Y'all was my best bet. You failed me. Yeah. So I think it's gonna be a good game. I think the Eagles, if they can run the ball and Miles Sanders is hopefully healthy, I would pick the Eagles to win. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions pulled it off in a close one because a lot of the games they lost last year were touchdowns or less. Like they lost like 2 or 3 games on last minute field goals, untimely turnover, stuff like that. So they just got to be able to close and play better when it comes to crunch time. And I think they could be a much improved team this year.
And beyond that, I just think that the Lions are a year away. I think they're just that one step back from where Philadelphia is. Philadelphia, what they did over the offseason with their young guys really did amp things up in my eyes. What we see Devontae and Jalen, the size that they gained over this offseason really is going to play into an effect in my eyes for this offense there. You add AJ Brown, you give Gainwell another year.
I like Gainwell.
you know, a little bit more time to be a more dynamic running back.
Oh, they
after he
traded
got those
Jalen.
starts. Yeah, Kenneth Gainwell.
No,
No,
Gainwell's still there.
Jalen Rager. They traded him.
Yeah, they did trade
Yeah,
Jalen
yeah.
Rager to the fucking
I think
Vikings.
was the Vikings or the Bears, one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vikings.
So you got you got more growth in my eyes for this Philadelphia offense than we really see in Detroit, and not sold on Goff. I like Swift. I like St. Brown. Hawkinson has his games.
Well,
Wasn't too impressed with Sewell.
he was hurt last
That
year.
offense is
That offensive line was good last year, especially towards the end of last year. The Lions' issue is that last year they couldn't stop the run, and they weren't really good at defense in general. They couldn't stop the pass either, and you have to stop the run to beat Philadelphia. So if they can't stop the run, it's over.
Mhm.
But they did add enough on defense, and I do think that Hutchinson is going to play a part in this, Ervin. I do think that they're going to be able to stop the run. I still don't even know if Jalen Hurts can pass. You know what I mean? Like, he has some good passes here and there. He shows flashes, but he is not a good passer. And I mean,
he's not a good deep ball passer.
but you have to be that in the NFL, dude, because these teams they're going to see the film last year of the Eagles and what they succeeded at. We have to remember the Eagles won 7 games against teams that were fucking completely missing players, dude. They played 1 game against the Washington Commanders, and the Commanders were missing like 30 players.
Well, even if the Commanders had those 30 players, they weren't going to win that game.
I mean, the game they were healthy was close. You know what I mean? Like, this Eagles team was a beneficiary of a lot of luck last year. And that's okay. It happens, dude. You know what I mean? Like, they took advantage of it. Now, I do think that their defense is going to be good this year. I think their defense is solid. And I think that if they can run the ball and play from ahead, they can absolutely win 9, 10 games and go to the playoffs. Now, against the Lions, they might be able to do that. +4, this is a Lions team that almost beat the Ravens last year, remember. They were the best team against the spread all year last year. They did get mollywopped by the Eagles. But I think they're going to stay within a possession here. I like the +4. If it were to go down to 3, I'd probably take the Eagles. But at +4, I really like the Lions in this spot. And I think this is a potential week 1 upset, dude. There's too many road favorites, bro. We're not all these road favorites aren't going to win this week. And this is one that could be a loss.
I'm going to give you some pushback on Jalen Hurts. He's a worker. I like him. Like Ben said, he has to get better at stretching the ball down the field. That's probably why they did bring in A.J. Brown, because he might not be the fastest, but dude is a damn good deep threat, and he's great after the catch too. So I think that's going to help Jalen take his game to the next level. And on top of that, he improved his percentage by 10% last year. That got him to 60, 61. Yeah, so if he could push that up to like 64, 65, that could be nice. But also the thing with him, you got to factor in his legs too. That changes the game with him. So, and if he's not being good from the pocket consistently, he can still make plays with his legs, even though you want to see him be a pocket QB first before he has to resort to using his legs to impact the game. And also depends on, can that O-line keep him in clean pockets where they don't have to move him outside the pocket all the time for him to have time to make throws.
Well, the offensive line is improved for sure.
Yeah, I think they need to stay healthy too, though, because they always have some type of crazy injury to a guard or a tackle or multiple injuries at once where they got to flip and come up with makeshift offensive line. So I think if they can stay healthy and Jalen continues to, because he's shown us that he's working, he's getting better every year. So I don't think he's going to take a major step back. If anything, he's going to play like. Let's be honest,
dude. His rookie year, there was only one way to go, and that was up, dude. He was awful.
Yeah, but even though his rookie year he was awful, he could have continued to be awful. So we got to get him some credit. You can't
I give him credit. If he could play with the lead, he's fine. But he's not going to win you ball games coming from behind. He can't make the throws.
Well, we'll see. That was we had that same. We were saying that about Lamar for a long time, but he's proved that he could come back and play from behind and do what he needs to do.
This is the thing, though, is Lamar Jackson is a probably 30 times better athlete than Jalen Hurts. Like, his
legs are special. I'll give you that. But Jalen can definitely, he's athletic and he can throw the ball. It's not like he's Tim Tebow back there.
Nah,
You have to
he's not
respect
Tim
his arm.
Tebow.
He just have to make people respect his arm pushing the ball down the field. If he does that, then the Eagles ain't gonna have no problems.
But look at when they played good teams last year, like the Bucks, for example, in the playoffs. I mean, the Bucks
But
literally
they
just.
should have. But the Eagles overachieved. We know they wasn't a playoff team last year.
But that's what I'm saying. And like, I don't know if Jalen Hurts is going to be that guy. You know, I didn't know if Lamar was going to be that guy. Lamar ended up, really becoming a better passer. But I think there's a little bit of a difference because Lamar Jackson, as a defense, you literally have to scheme for him to run the ball, which opens up a lot of passes for him because he kills it over the middle because it's always wide open because teams have to play in a zone against him. You cannot play man against him because if you play man,
Jalen's legs aren't Lamar's legs, but he could kill a team with his legs too. So, but he just can't do it. He can't do it consistently and rely on it like Lamar because he's not fast as Lamar. But his legs aren't. He's no slouch when it comes to using his legs. I just think he'd rather prove that he could beat a team from the pocket, which I have no problem with. And they have better weapons. He's going to be able to prove that he can do that, especially with what most people consider a top 5, definitely top 10 receiver in AJ Brown. So I like what they built around him. And if he don't get the job done, they can easily draft a QB next year or the year after. So he is only on a rookie deal and he's a 2nd-round pick at that. So
but because of that, I like the Lions. I like the Lions week 1.
It's it's low risk, high reward with Jalen Hurts. So we'll see.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there is a path where he does good, but I mean, like, this is a talented roster, dude. Like, this is a roster that should be in the playoffs and should be making a playoff run with the pieces.
Yeah, he has no excuses. He has to get the job done this year. If they don't, even if they don't win a division, if they get into the playoffs and don't win a game, and it's because of Jalen, they're gonna move on. This is the league. It stands for not for long. It's a quarterback driven league. You know, if you don't have a quarterback, especially a better than average quarterback, you have pretty much no shot at winning anything of significance besides if your team just that much better, you can win your division. But when it comes to the playoffs, you got to have a quarterback that can make plays in crunch time. So, and that's what the Eagles might be searching for, or they might already have it in Jalen. So we'll see.
I feel it. All right, let's move on to hold on. So what do we got on this one, Ben? What are you taking a bet in this game?
I got Eagles -4. I like the under too, under 48.5. I don't think this is going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah, I like the Eagles too. And the under.
Damn, Eagles and the under. All right, let's move on to the next game. We got the Browns are heading into Carolina. This is a game where we saw some massive line movement since it opened. So this actually opened as Cleveland -4, and it has been bet down to Carolina -1.5. So this is completely flipped. And when I say this opened, it opened, in May when the first line came out. Yeah. But since then, it's been bet all the way to Carolina -1.5. Ben, where did you see 2.5? I don't see 2.5 anywhere on any book.
I got that off my bookie.
Oh man, if you like the Browns, you might as well take them there because I don't see it.
Oh no, now 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah. Oh no, wait, hold on. Why does this show me week? This shows me Jets Browns.
I see 1.5.
Who's starting at QB for the Browns? Is it
Jacoby Brissett?
Brissett. I see 2 now. My bookie has it as 2.
Well, okay, I'm gonna definitely take the under, and I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina wins.
I mean, Carolina should win based on the market.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I actually tend to lean the other way, to be honest. I think that the Browns are getting a little disrespected here. They were 5th in the league in rushing last year. You know what I mean? And sure, Deshaun Watson makes them a better team. But Jacoby Brissett is a serviceable quarterback, and they added Amari Cooper. Their defense is a top 8 defense in the league. And Carolina last year could not stop the run. They were one of the worst teams against the run last year, and I'm not sure they improved that. You know what I mean? So I think the Browns are going to be able to run the football here. I like them to cover 1.5. If I were able to get Carolina +4, sure, I would have taken that all day. But
Did the Browns bring back most of the O line? Didn't they lose like a good O lineman or
their
something?
only lineman they lost is their center who's hurt.
Oh, okay.
But
Well, they can't run the ball, but at the end of the day, Jacoby gonna have to make some throws. It's not like
yeah,
Carolina's gonna sit there and let them run the ball down their throat.
but if they can run the ball, it opens everything up.
Yeah, but Jacoby is prone to turnovers, man. That's the only thing with him. That's the reason why he's not a starting quarterback because he turned the ball over too much.
Well, I just don't think he's a starting quarterback. But I mean, Baker turns the ball over a lot too. He's on the other side.
Well,
Baker's got a
was
fire in
clearly
his
hurt
ass,
last
though.
year. Yeah, and this is a revenge game. He wants to
Yeah.
prove to them like they made the wrong decision.
Yeah, I mean, he wanted to win this game regardless. But sure, it's a revenge game. I don't know. I don't think Carolina's defense is going to be improved enough to. I mean,
Panthers at home.
Yeah, this is Panthers at home -1.5 right now.
I don't know. I think their defense might be a little better this year because they're not bad against the pass. It's just they got to be able to stop the run.
They could not
Yeah,
stop
the
the run
offense
at all
isn't
last
bad.
year.
Yeah, and the offensive line got to protect them too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the offensive line was atrocious last year, but they did add the kid from NC State.
Icky. Yeah.
So that'll be an improvement. But I mean, I like the Browns here. I think they're getting a little I think they're a little undervalued here by the market. I think that there was a huge swing, obviously, and it happened right when Baker got traded.
And Deshaun got suspended.
Yeah, and Deshaun. Well, this happened. Yeah, this happened like right around then when Deshaun got suspended and Baker got traded. I think it's a little bit of a market overreaction. I think that this line will probably close
Even.
I mean, it should. It probably. I don't think Carolina should be a -1.5 point favorite because I think the Browns roster and the coach is better.
Well, you got to think they're at home, so they're getting 3 points.
Yeah, I don't know if Carolina is worth 3 point at home.
Well, we're gonna find out. I think this game is this probably the biggest mystery of the weekend, honestly, because it can honestly go either way.
I agree. This is an interesting game right now. Let me see.
I definitely take the under though.
Carolina getting 78% of the bets, 93% of the
41
money.
and a half is low.
41.5 is really low, but
This could be a 17-10 game, a 10-3 game.
Dude, Carolina's offense was bad last year, dude.
They got the weapons on the outside.
Dude, the total opened at 43
and
and has been bet down to 41.5.
Yeah, because if that O-line isn't better, they're not gonna be able to pass the ball like that. Because you got Myles Garrett, you got other capable pass rushers.
And they're Denzel Ward.
PJ Walker throwing the ball.
Nah, they had Darnold.
But you gotta think the only difference between Darnold and Baker is Baker actually led his team to the playoffs. Baker has looked completely terrible at times. So you got to factor that in too.
Yeah, but Darnold was hurt for a majority of last year too.
Yeah, Baker was too, but we've seen Baker healthy. He had a good playoff win versus the Steelers. That was nice, but
because of the
we also saw the Baker that made Odell Beckham look like he don't belong in the league no more. So
true. Yeah, it's a huge unknown, dude. We don't know what we're gonna get. Like, is Baker that much of an upgrade over Darnold?
Yes.
In my honest opinion, he's not.
I don't think so either. Nah, there's no why? What does he do better than Darnold?
His interception percentage was a hell of a lot lower.
But he doesn't even throw the ball as much.
Yeah, he does.
Dude,
Throw the ball
if you gave Darnold that run game that the Browns had, dude, anyone could succeed with that. Darnold was 3-0.
McCaffrey for the first 3-4 games,
and they were 3-0.
Yeah, they were 3-0. Then he got hurt, and then it was all bad.
Yeah, but it wasn't because of Darnold.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When the Browns were good with Baker, it wasn't because of Baker. He was throwing like 15, 20 passes a game. They're and then Chubb and Kareem Hunter running for 200 yards a game. That's the thing. I don't think there's a huge difference between these two quarterbacks. So going from +4 to +1, and this is the line that came out originally was thinking Deshaun Watson wasn't going to play. This line literally moved off of Baker Mayfield. I don't think he's worth a 4 to 5 point difference, dude, from Sam Darnold. There's no way.
I'm gonna just bet the under. That's what I'm gonna do.
41 and a
That
half
under
is low, dude.
So low though, yeah.
Maybe the bet is taking I mean the Browns are gonna want to run the ball and
So
control the
Browns
clock.
+ 2. They control the clock, score enough to win with the run game.
I was gonna say maybe take Browns or Panthers first half because they could be all juiced up off the Baker's gonna come out there all fired up and shit. They could
I
drive
can
it
see
down.
that happening.
So I mean maybe that's a smart bet there. I don't know. This is a game where like I feel like this is a game that you look at the line movement and you're like, damn, I wish I got. If you like the Panthers, it's like I wish I got +4. That's a great bet. That's a great number. But at -1.5, I don't know if I'm willing to lay that with this Panthers team. This Panthers team could be good. They could. Or they could be absolute dog shit. I don't think there's an in-between there. You know what I mean? Because, dude, they were terrible. They were one of the worst teams at stopping the run last year. And what did they do to improve that? They lost more guys than they gained on defense.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's tough, dude, because if you can't stop the run, it changes everything.
Yeah, if you can't stop Cleveland running the ball, they're gonna kill you.
The more we talk about this, the more I like the Browns, actually. I'm going to take the Browns here.
+2.
Yeah.
2.5.
Nah, +1.5 I'll take them at. But I'll really take +2 if I can get it like that. 2.5 I really take. All right, let's move over to this next game. We got the Indianapolis Colts. They're heading into Houston to face the Texans. Who chose this game?
I chose this game.
Why did
Because
you
of the 7?
Oh,
Then
okay.
most
That is a good
thinking-
number.
I don't know if
The
7
Texans
is
will
too
cover.
much.
All right, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this game. So right now it's Indianapolis on the road -7, Houston at home +7. Right now, dude, listen to this. This is pretty crazy. Actually, just based on the market, I think Houston is a smart player. Indianapolis getting 49% of the bets, 11% of the money. Houston getting 51% of the bets, 89% of the money, +7.
Well, but it's changed. That's what's moved.
Well, it's
It
moved from
too,
seven and a
+7.
half to 7.
I thought it opened a lot more.
No, I'm seeing it open at 7 +7.5. And it's been bet to 7. 7.5 is a good number.
I see this as a runaway with for the Colts here. Offensively and defensively, this is
I think the Texans are severely undervalued as a team. I don't think they're as bad as people think.
What gives them any value though?
Well, Davis Mills was arguably the best rookie quarterback last year. That's the first thing, and he's only a year older now. They improved the offensive line. They improved the defense.
You've got an aging Brandon Cooks. You've got Nico Collins, who's a question mark.
But you got Damian Pierce, who, he was 50-1 to win Rookie of the Year at one point. Now he's like fucking 10-1. So,
And I'm gonna say that to say all this. They're playing one of the better rosters in the whole entire NFL.
I agree.
And we're gonna see. I honestly think they upgraded that quarterback with Matt Ryan over Carson Wentz, and they hands down have the best running back in the league right now.
Yep.
I think the Colts run away with this one.
But this is the thing, dude.
More
Everyone
than 7, right?
Yeah, it's at 7. But this is the thing: is everyone will sit here and they'll say like, "Well, the roster is this much better." We got to remember these are all professional football players, dude.
I get it, but you talking the team with probably the best, when healthy, a top 2-3 O line, the best running back in the league. The wide receiving core should be better this year because they got young guys. They added talent. Michael Pittman looked like he's ready to step up and be a 1.
Yeah, I agree.
They got 2 legit tight ends. I think this game could get ugly, honestly.
Got a good D line there.
Yeah, if the Colts is the team that we think they can be, this game shouldn't be close. Even though I do respect what the Texans are trying to build, it looks like they have their QB of the future. They got their cornerstone. They got a future probably lockdown corner
Derek
in
Stingley.
Derek Stingley. They do have to improve their pass rush, so we got to see what the pass rush looking like. So we'll see. Maybe they can hang in there, but I'm not expecting them to win this game.
They also, I mean, they had like a low key good draft last year for what they had. You know, they didn't have a first or second round pick, and they were able to come out with Davis Mills, and they were better than anticipated. I don't know, dude. I think that this team is getting absolutely shat on. The we see this every year.
Good reason though.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. Everyone
They're young.
Sure.
They haven't proved anything, so I don't think you can until they do
Sure.
show.
But at the same time, like we've seen the Colts lose to dog shit teams like the Jaguars. We've seen the Colts lose opening week when they had Phillip Rivers to the Jaguars in Jacksonville. Like, this is the NFL, dude. These guys are all motivated, and all these guys are on these teams thinking that they have a chance to win the Super Bowl week 1. And they're not just going to roll over because the Colts are a better team on paper. These are professionals.
I definitely think they're not going to roll over. I just think they coming off the rip, they're not going to be able to compete with a team that has the ability to go make a pretty much a Super Bowl run.
Yeah, but I mean, it's week 1. I've seen crazier things happen. I think 7 is a lot on the road, dude. That's a lot of points. And it's a division game.
You're basing this off a team that finished. You know you love DVOA, right?
I love DVOA.
Where did the Texans finish in DVOA last year?
They were pretty shitty. They were 29th overall, 27th in offense.
And what did they really do to improve that defense besides drafting 2 good cornerbacks?
I mean, they're young. You know what I mean? They were young last year too, but they had Christian Harris too. That's a good pick.
There you go. Texans got swept by the Colts last season, 31-3 on the road and 31-0 at home.
Yeah,
I'm gonna roll with the Texans with the points, dude.
They gotta show me that they can hang.
Yeah.
I like the Colts, dude. I like the Colts. They'll win this game, dude. But I think the Texans are gonna cover. I think they'll cover the 7. I think they'll cover. All right, let's move on to this next game. We got the Packers and the Vikings. Right now, the Packers -1.5. This is in Minnesota, by the way, too. Packers -1.5, and the Vikings +1.5. The total is at 52. What do you guys think about this game?
I like the Vikings, to be honest.
Vikings +1.5.
Trust Kirk Cousins though, man.
I know.
2 interceptions.
Is it prime time or is it a 1 p.m. game?
It is
1 p.m.
25.
All right, give me the Vikings.
This is a tough one for me too.
No, I'm sorry. This is sorry, 125. Yep. 125.
All right, give me the Vikings. I like the O-line is improved. Thielen's going to be healthy. JJ is an absolute dog. Top 2, 3, no worse than 4 wide receiver in the league.
I agree.
They have Cook, who's when he's on his game, he's definitely a top 10, 5, 6 running back. The only thing with them is Kurt has to take care of the ball, and their defense should be much improved as well.
So should the Packers, though.
How's their defense against the run? Because that's the big thing.
Yeah, they should be improved. They got to get better against the run. They've never been suspect against the pass. That's the only thing that could hold them back. But the thing about it is they're facing a team with 2 legit running backs, but LaFleur abandons the run game like no other. So
I don't think he's going to do that this year because
he doesn't have the great receiver talent on the outside. He got a lot of unknown, but you do got a Hall of Fame QB in Aaron Rodgers. So we'll see. I just like the Vikings.
Is Lazard going to play?
He's questionable. He's listed as questionable.
Okay.
This is a tough one, dude, because I agree. I do think that the Vikings improved, especially because I think their offense is going to be better, right? I'm probably leaning over here more than anything, more than taking any bet.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going over.
I think this could be a shootout, and the reason being is because I do think that the Packers are gonna run the ball more. Um, and the over under right now is 47, dude. That's so low. Why is it so low?
47?
Yeah,
See 52.
I'm seeing 47 as circa.
Yeah, that's kind of low. Damn,
They
I would
opened
definitely
at
bet that
48
right
and a
now.
half, and it's at 47. I like that over. I think the Packers are going to run the ball more this year. We saw it actually a couple years ago when the Packers had uh, Jones and Williams at running back. They ran the ball a lot more than previously, and then they started throwing it a little bit more. I think they're going to go back to that run first style, and I think that Aaron Rodgers sees now, especially after the last playoff run, especially playing in Lambeau Field when it gets cold and in that elements, you have to be able to run the football and establish the run to be a good team there. Their defense is solid, dude. Their defense is going to be a top 10 defense this year for sure. The Vikings could be, but I don't know. There's a lot of unknowns there, and they couldn't stop the run last year. Another big question is, the Packers offensive line with Bakhtiari, is he going to come back healthy? But
Well, he
last year,
said he playing, so we'll see.
and last year they plug and played all year pretty well, and they had a good offensive line. So I think that they'll be okay in that spot. I don't necessarily like the Packers on the road in a division game here, -1.5. But I don't like the Vikings either. I think the only bet here that I'm taking is the over 47.
Yeah. I'd lean Vikings. I like that over.
I think the over is a play for sure. This is a tough game. All right, let's talk about the Thursday night game before we get out of here.
Sunday night game.
Sunday night game. Sorry, we already did Thursday night. Sunday night game, and then Sunday night we'll be talking about the Monday night game. But Irv, I will ask you your thoughts on the Monday night game before we get out of here.
The Broncos versus what's the name?
Yeah, not yet. Wait.
Oh, okay.
We're talking Bucks Cowboys right now. Right now, this is going to be played at Jerry's World in Dallas. Right now, Dallas is a +2.5 point dog. Tampa Bay -2.5. The total is at 50.5. This is one of the higher totals of the week. What do you guys think about this game here?
I think
Honestly,
got a lot of injuries. Sorry.
Yeah. If Dallas didn't have so many injuries, I would like them with the upset, but I think they have too many injuries to overcome.
Yeah, they do have a lot of injuries.
And then they have a lot of unknown at wide receiver. Is Gallup going to play?
Tampa has a lot of injuries too, though.
I know, and Tom took time off for his facelift, so he hasn't been practicing, but he should know that offense like the back of his hand.
Yeah, if there's anybody I'm not worried about missing, really all of. I mean, he didn't miss all of, the preseason, but him, Aaron Rodgers, like I'm not worried about them missing preseason.
Yeah, I think if Dallas had more offensive firepower, they can make it more interesting because we know Tampa Bay defense ain't nothing special, but they should have enough to stop the Cowboys, especially with Jason Peters being the starting left tackle. Not that he's a slouch, but Tyron Smith is a Hall of Famer, so they're definitely going to miss him.
Yep.
We got to see what the Cowboys have on the outside. They did have that rookie tearing it up in preseason, but can he be a legit wide receiver outside of being a deadly return guy? Are they going to put Michael on the edge more? I think if they do that, they got a better shot at winning this game because Tampa has a terrible left tackle, and you can take advantage of him at any time you want with a good pass rusher.
Yep.
They got holes on the O line, so but I don't know if Dallas has enough talent up front to take advantage of that.
McCarthy has listed Gallup as out.
See.
But that rookie they have is supposed to be I think he's gonna be all right.
Yeah, so we'll see. I think if the Cowboys had more in the front seven, I would like them better to make for the upset.
Well, Jabril Cox is gonna be healthy. He was really good when he was healthy last year.
Yeah.
Obviously, Micah Parsons is gonna be another year older. He looked dominant, like very dominant at times last year.
Yeah, he even got some votes for Defensive Player of the Year as a rookie. So, and that hasn't happened in a long time.
I do think their secondary is gonna be a little bit worse though. Like, there's no way fucking Diggs replicates what he did last year. You know what I mean?
He did look terrible in in training camp, but A lot of people say dude's a gamer. He does give up too many yards for me, but he does make hella plays because of his ball skills, and he used to be a wide receiver. So if he could not get torched, I think the Cowboys could have a better chance. But some of those training camp clips didn't look good at all. He was getting beat by dudes that was undrafted free agents. So that doesn't never look good. But hey, it's some people aren't the greatest at practice. So
Yeah.
let's see how that rounds out. And I think the pass rush might be able to help him out because Tampa's biggest question mark is their O-line. So we got to see how that works out.
Yep. And that could be a play for the under here, you know what I mean? Especially if the Cowboys can't run the ball, because we've seen how the Cowboys offense really it stalls when they're not able to run the ball. Like, it's just totally different. And then obviously you lose Amari Cooper. We don't really know what we're going to get from the outside. Dalton Schultz was really nice last year, but he kind of tailed off at the end of the last season. I don't know, man. I kind of like the under here as my play in this game, or I would lean Tampa Bay money line. So I do think that Tom Brady has some things to prove. Whenever you doubt Tom Brady, he always ends up fucking biting you in the ass. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, that's cool, but he ain't winning shit. This his last hoorah. He not. I don't think the Bucks win the Super Bowl.
oh, no way. No, there's no chance. Especially if their offensive line isn't healthy, dude. There's no chance. So I'm gonna lean Tampa here, but I like the under 51 and a half.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
What do you think, Ben?
I like Tampa. I'm not even gonna lean it, and yeah, I'd probably, because Dallas isn't gonna have that offensive firepower, I'll go under.
Nice. We all on the under there.
Let's go, y'all.
All right, let's get some best bets out of these games. So 2 bets from each of you.
Are we going 2? Okay.
2. You gotta have 2 bets. Ervin, what 2 do you like?
I like the over for the Rams and the Bills,
Over 52.
and the under. No, wait, no. I like the Colts
Colts.
money line.
Money line. There's no value in money line.
Well,
They're
the
minus
Colts with the
7.
points. Well, -7.
All right.
I picked them to win. That's my best bet. And my second one is definitely going to be the under for the Cowboys and the Bucks.
Under 50 and a half. All right, Ben, what are yours?
I'm gonna follow Ervin with the Colts -7 here. Really do like that. I think they've got a more dynamic offense this year that's really gonna push them over a really question mark for Texas team. And then I'm gonna go Packers Vikings over 47. I think this is gonna be a high scoring game.
All right, I'm going Detroit +4. I like the Lions in this spot. I think they're improved. I think they got a lot going on, and they really play for their head coach. They were the best team against the spread last year. I think that continues this year. Give me the Lions +4, and then I am going to take the under 50 and a half in the Cowboys Bucks game. I'm with Ervin there, dude. I think that's going to be a low scoring game. So give me that under 50 and a half Bucks Dallas. Let's go to the window and make this money.
There we go.
All right, thank you everybody for joining us. First week of NFL, we are here. We made it. Let's go. Ervin and I will be back tomorrow night. We're gonna be talking some college football games, and then Ben and I will be back Sunday night to recap NFL Week 1, and we'll be looking ahead to the Monday night game. Ervin, before we get out of here, what's your thoughts on the Monday night game?
My Broncos versus the Seahawks.
Yep.
Oh, pack their ass up. It's not even gonna be close. Like,
No, I'm with you. What's the line on it?
Denver -5.
I think it's
I don't
6
know
right
how.
now.
I was Seahawks at home, but that game is not gonna be close. You got Geno Smith at quarterback, man. I don't care if you had Jerry Rice in his prime or Randy Moss. If Geno Smith is your quarterback, and you got that Seahawks O line, good luck.
I'm gonna save my opinions for Sunday night.
Monday night.
Sunday night we're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna be previewing this game after we recap it. But thank y'all for joining us. Make sure to go to Tavour.com or download the Tavour app straight to your mobile device. Use promo code Taproom for $10 off your first purchase of $25 or more.
Yep.
For Big Ball and Ben Larson, Swervin' Ervin Washington, I'm Jordan. Stacks on Stacks on Stacks, lads. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a blessed Wednesday. Let's get this money. Let's go.
Yes, sir.